Shalom class, my name is Innocent Mapanda. I hope I find you well. Welcome to episode 3 of Equations in Fractions. I would like to thank you for tuning in and subscribing to my channel. Thank you all my supporters. Continue to share this channel to as many people as possible so that they can also benefit before they write their exams. Right, so today we are going to touch on equations involving fractions, which will then lead to quadratic equations. Right, so I'm going to start with the first question, which reads 1 over x minus 2 minus 3 over 2x minus 1 is equals to 5 over x plus 2. 6 marks. You are being required to find the value of x or to solve for the unknown letter x. Right. So the first thing to do when attacking such an equation, you need to identify the lowest common multiple, or what you call the LCM of the denominators. Right. So the LCM of the denominators in this situation, it is going to be found using the product of the three given denominators, which is x minus 2. So LCM is equals to x minus 2 times 2x minus 1 times x plus 2. So we are going to multiply all the denominators in order to identify the LCM. Right. So the importance of LCM, it helps you to clear the fractions so that you rewrite the equation in a simplified version. Right. So I'm going to multiply each and every fraction both sides by the LCM. Right. So x minus 2, 2x minus 1, x plus 2 is going to multiply 1 over x minus 2, which is the first fraction. After that, I'm going to put a negative sign here in between the two fractions on my left side. Right. So I'm going to write the LCM, x minus 2, 2x minus 1, x plus 2 to multiply 3 over 2x minus 1. Right, so I'm done on the left side. Right, so is equals to x minus 2, 2x minus 1, x plus 2, which is going to multiply 5 over x plus 2 on my right side. So I have multiplied both sides by the LCM. Right. So what is going to happen here is the denominator is going to cancel with its common bracket. Take for example on the first fraction on my left side. You can notice that our denominator is x minus 2. And the common bracket, which is part of the LCM, is x minus 2. It means that x minus 2 and x minus 2 are going to cancel out each other. I hope you are following class. Right. So it means that on my left side, I'm going to be left out with 2x minus 1, x plus 2. Since we have got 1 inside the bracket, it means that each and every number multiplied by 1, it just comes out as it is. So there is no effect of 1 since you get the same result after multiplying by 1. Right. So I'm now moving on to the second fraction, which is 3 over 2x minus 1. You can notice that 2x minus 1, the denominator of the second fraction, is going to cancel out with a common bracket, which is 2x minus 1. So you are going to be left out with x minus 2, x plus 2, and the 3 inside the bracket. So when writing your result, you have to start with the number 3, then you put your brackets in front. So x minus 2, the remaining bracket, and x plus 2, the second remaining bracket, I'm going to place them in front of the 3 inside the bracket. You start by writing the number followed by the brackets. I hope you are following, class. Then I'm now moving on to the right side. X plus 2, the denominator, is going to cancel out with x plus 2, the common bracket. So you'll be left out with x minus 2 and 2x minus 1, which is going to multiply the 5 remaining elements inside the bracket. So likewise, I'm going to start by writing 5, the number, then place the brackets in front, like this. So this is the first thing to do, the first stage to do to clear the fractions. So it means that the original equation has been simplified in another version, which is 2x minus 1, x plus 2, minus 3, x minus 2x plus 2 is equals to 5, open bracket, x minus 2, 2x minus 1. So I want you to stay tuned as we move on to the next stage of solving this equation. Right, as you can see, we now have the simplified version of the original equation. So we now want to expand the brackets, collect like terms, and form the quadratic equation, which would then lead us to the roots of the equation. Right, so I'm going to start with the first bracket, the first 2 brackets on my left side, which is 2x minus 1 times x plus 2. So when expanding the brackets, right, each and every term in the first bracket is going to be given an opportunity to multiply the second bracket. So the first term in the first bracket is 2x. 2x is going to be given an opportunity to multiply the second bracket, which is x plus 2. Then the second term in the first bracket is minus 1. So I'm going to write minus 1, so that minus 1 would then multiply the second bracket, which was multiplied by 2x. So this is how you remove the brackets for the first 2 brackets, right? Then we move on to the next expression. We would like to expand 3 times x minus 2, x plus 2, right? So the first thing to do, you have to put a big bracket here. You need to first of all multiply x minus 2 and x plus 2 before introducing minus 3 inside the bracket, right? So I have placed a big bracket so that I start by multiplying x minus 2 and x plus 2. After that, I will then introduce minus 3 inside the bracket, right? So the easiest way here, you can notice that we have got x minus 2 and x plus 2. This indicates what you call difference of 2 squares. It means that x minus 2 and x plus 2 can be written in the form x squared minus 4, applying what you call difference of 2 squares, right? So there is no need to do the process that I have done for the first 2 brackets. Why? Because x minus 2 times x plus 2, it just gives you difference of 2 squares, right? So it is good as x squared minus 4. I hope you are listening, class. So I'm going to write x squared minus 4 to represent the 2 brackets inside. Then I move on to the right side. Remember, whenever you are expanding 2 brackets and there is a number before the brackets, you need to put what you call a big bracket first. So I'm going to put a big bracket first so that I deal with the 2 brackets first before introducing 5. Right. So x minus 2 is going to multiply the second bracket, 2x minus 1, but I'm going to start with the x. So x is going to multiply 2x minus 1. Then I move on to negative 2, which is the second term in the first bracket, to multiply 2x minus 1 as well. I hope you are following, class. Right. So 2x times x, you get 2x squared. 2x times 2, you get 4x. Then minus 1 times x, you get minus x. Then I told you in the first episode that do not make a mistake of multiplying 1 and 2 before multiplying the signs. You have to multiply the signs first before you multiply the numbers. So 1 minus times plus, it gives you negative. Then 1 times 2 you get 2. So be very careful, especially when expanding the second bracket where there is a negative sign. Right. Then we have expanded x minus 2 and x plus 2, and it gave x squared minus 4. So I now introduce minus 3 after expanding the two brackets. So minus 3 times x squared, you get minus 3x squared. Likewise, do not make a mistake of multiplying 3 and 4 before you multiply the signs. So I'm going to multiply the negative before 3 and the negative before 4. Negative times negative, it produces a plus sign. Then 3 times 4, you then get 12. So I'm done on the left side. I'm now moving on to the right side. Right. So let us keep 5. We are going to introduce 5 after dealing with the terms inside the big bracket. X times 2x, you get 2x squared. X times minus 1, you get minus x. Right. Then minus 2 times 3x, you get minus 4x. Then in negative and negative, it produces plus. 2 times 1, you get 2. I hope you are listening, class. So I want to collect like terms on the left side. You can notice that 2x squared is a like term with minus 3x squared. Plus 4x is a like term with minus x. Minus 2 is a like term with plus 2. Then we can also simplify the like terms inside the big bracket. You can notice that minus x and minus 4x are like terms. Remember, I told you in the first episode that whenever you are subtracting, let's say you have got minus 5 and minus 8, where all the numbers are negative, you add the numbers, then the sign remains negative. You get minus 13. Right. Same applies. Minus x is good as minus 1x. So 1 plus 4, you get 5x, but you remain with the negative sign. I hope you are listening, candidates. Right. 2x squared minus 3x squared, you get minus 1x squared, which is good as minus x squared. 4x minus x, it gives you plus 3x. Then minus 2 plus 12. Remember, in the first episode, I also taught you about the issue of directed numbers. If you have got a negative and a plus number, the first thing to do is to identify the difference between the two numbers. So the difference between 2 and 12 is 10, but you have to take the sign of the bigger number. Bigger number is 12 with a plus sign. It means that your 10 is plus 10. But if you had a situation whereby you have minus 12 plus 2, the difference between 12 and 2 is 10, but the bigger number is 12 with a negative sign. This is whereby you come out with a negative. Right. But on this situation, I'm going to come out with a plus 10, since the bigger number 12 is attached to a positive sign. I hope you are listening, class. So it's now time to introduce the 5 inside the bracket. Why? Because we have dealt with the expansion. 5 times 2x squared, you get 10x squared. 5 times minus 5x, you get minus 25x. Then 5 times 2, it gives you 10. So I'm now collecting like terms. Since a quadratic equation, when solving a quadratic equation, you have to make sure that the other side has got a 0. Right. So I always encourage students that when collecting like terms, try by all means to make the coefficient of x squared positive. Right. So for it to be positive, it means that the terms on my left side are going to be moved on my right side. It means that on the left side, we are going to be remaining with 0. And then as we move the terms on my left side, they are going to be mutating their signs with the rule of solving equation that every term which crosses an equal sign, it changes its original sign. So I'm going to start by writing 10x squared as it is on my right side. But you can notice that 10x squared is a like term with minus x squared on my left side. But since minus x squared is going to cross this equal sign, it is going to be plus x squared. I hope you are listening. Then I'm going to write minus 25x on my right side as it is. But minus 25x is a like term with 3x. But as 3x crosses over the equal sign, it is going to change from plus 3x to negative 3x. I hope you are listening. Then I'm going to write 10 on my right side, which is the like term, with the 10 on my left side. But the 10 on the left side, as it crosses over the equal sign, it becomes minus 10. I hope you are following, class. So we are left out with a 0 on the left side. So 10x squared plus x squared, it gives you 11x squared. Then minus 25x minus 3x, like what I told you, that whenever you have all negative numbers, it is a matter of adding the two numbers, but you remain with the negative sign. Right, so 25 plus 3, you get 28, but it is minus 28x. Then 10 minus 10, it gives you 0, and there's no need of writing the 0. Right, so we now have a quadratic equation, which is 0 is equal to 11x squared minus 28x. Right, so to solve this equation, you have to factorize. Right, you can notice that the highest common factor of 11x squared and minus 28x is x. Since there is no common factor between 11 and 28, but there is a common factor between x squared and x, which is x. So I'm going to put my bracket like this. X into 11x squared, you get 11x. Then x into minus 28x, you'll be left out with negative 28. I hope you are listening. So when two expressions are multiplying each other and the other side you have got a 0, it means that one of those terms is a 0 as well. Right. Take for example, you have got AB is equal to 0. Right. For AB to be 0, it's either A is 0 or B is 0 for it to be possible. Same applies. If x open bracket x 11x minus 28, the product is giving you a 0. It means that it's either x is 0 or 11x minus 28 is 0. So I'm going to come out with two different equations from this. Right. So it means that x is equals to 0 or 11x minus 28 is equals to 0. So the first solution is x is equals to 0. Then I'm going to move 28 on the right side. So 28 becomes a positive 28. Then for you to make x the subject, you have to divide both sides by 11. So x is equal to 28 over 11, which can be written as 11 into 28 is 2. Remember, 11, it enters into 22 exactly 2 times. Right. So from 22 to 28, you'll be left out with 6 as your remainder. I'm going to write 6 at the top, divided by 11. So you get yourself 6 marks. I hope you are listening, class. Right. So there is another method of solving the same equation, giving you the same answer. Right. So I want you to digest the first method as we take a short break. When we are going to come back, I'm going to teach you another method which can lead you to the same answer. So I want you to take a glass of water, stay tuned, and do not go anywhere. Right, welcome back to our third segment. In this third segment, we would like to attack the very same problem, but using method 2. Right, so for method 2, the idea is to make the left side a single fraction. Right. So how do you make it a single fraction? You have to find the LCM of x minus 2 and 2x minus 1 without considering the right side. So the LCM is x minus 2, 2x minus 1. Right. Then the right side, I'm going to just paste and copy it as it is, like this. Right. So what you are going to do here is 1 is going to multiply 2x minus 1. Remember, you have to start with this term. Do not start by multiplying with 3. You have to start with 1, which is going to multiply the diagonal denominator. So I'm going to write 1 first. This is 1, which is going to multiply the diagonal denominator, which is 2x minus 1. I hope you are listening. After multiplying with 1, you then move on to 3. As 3 is going to multiply another diagonal denominator, which is x minus 2, for you to produce your numerator. I hope you are listening, class. So do not make a mistake of starting by multiplying with 3. You produce a wrong answer, but you have to start with 1, since 1 is the first number on your left side. 1, the number at the top, multiplies this diagonal denominator. Then you get 1, open bracket, 2x minus 1. Then minus 3, the second number, multiply the denominator, x minus 2. Right. So 1 times 2x, you get 2x. 1 times minus 1, you get minus 1. Minus 3 times x, you get minus 3x. Then before you multiply 3 and 2, you have to multiply the signs first. Negative times negative, it gives you positive. 3 times 2, you get 6. I hope you are following. So I'm going to produce the denominator as it is. Then write the fraction 5 over x plus 2 as it is, as we simplify the denominator on our left side. So you can notice that 2x and minus 3x are like terms. So 2x minus 3x, you get minus 1x, which can be written as minus x. Right? Then minus 1 and plus 6 are also like terms. But remember the issue of directed numbers. The first thing to do is to identify the difference between 1 and 6, and the difference between 1 and 6 is 5. So you have to take the sign of the bigger number. 6 is the bigger number attached to a positive sign. So I'm going to write plus 5. Right. Then I'm going to rewrite the LCM as it is. It's equals to 5 over x plus 2. So once you reach the stage whereby you've got one fraction on your left side and one fraction on your right side, you apply the skill of cross multiplication. Right. What is cross multiplication? Right. The numerator on your left side is going to multiply the denominator on your right side. And the numerator on your right side is going to multiply the denominator on your left side, like this. This is what we call cross multiplication. So negative x plus 5, I'm going to put it in brackets in order to multiply the diagonal denominator, which is x plus 2. Then 5, the number, is going to multiply the two brackets, which is x minus 2 and 2x minus 1. I hope you are following, class. So negative x times x, you get minus x squared. Negative x times plus 2, you get minus 2x. Then 5 times x, it gives you plus 5x. 5 times 2, you get 10. So I'm through on the left side. Then you put your big bracket. It's equals to 5. Open bracket. Right. X times 2x, you get 2x squared. X times minus 1, you get minus x. Minus 2 times 2x, it gives you minus 4x. Then, before you multiply 2 and 1, you have to start by multiplying the signs. So negative times negative, you get a plus sign. 2 times 1, you get 2. Then you close your bracket. I hope you are listening, class. So minus x squared minus 2x plus 5x, you get plus 3x. Since you have to take the sign of the bigger number. Plus 5. It's equals to 5, open bracket, 2x squared. Minus x minus 4x, since they are all negatives, you add but you remain with the negative sign. It gives you minus 5x plus 2 like this. So I'm going to be left out with minus 3x plus minus x squared, 3 minus x squared plus 3x plus 10 is equals to 5 times 2x squared, you get 10 x squared. Then 5 times minus 5x, you get minus 25x. 5 times 2, you get 10 like this. Then you move your numbers on the left side. So I want you to notice something. If you look at the first method that we have done, you can notice that the stage that I have reached is the same stage that we reached before in the previous method. So from here up to the completion of the question, you will have to follow what we did in the previous method, and you come out with the same answers. I hope you have benefited from today's lesson. My name is Mapanda. Thank you for watching my video, and I want you to share it to as many people as possible so that they can also benefit. I also do online lessons for students all over the world who want to be helped in O-level mathematics and accounting. I can help you to get your distinction. I'm in this field for 13 years now. I started teaching in 2009, right? So it's almost, actually I started teaching in 2008, right? So I've surpassed a decade in this industry of teaching. It's almost about 13 years in this game. I know what I do, and I guarantee you a distinction. I'm not someone who is doing a trial and error method. No, I have helped many students. Many students have got their A's through my teachings. And one day I'm going to give you a video on YouTube of testimonies of people that made it through my teachings. So do not hesitate to register with me online. I can help you and you get your distinctions. Then you thank me later. Have a nice day. Till we meet again. Shalom.